ti elevate. Ori mi kò lè hibernate. Àwọn bá.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Two Brothers channel. I'm one brother.
Hey, everybody. I'm second brother. Welcome, everybody.
And I'm Rika. Welcome back, everyone.
Now, guys, we have a very exciting episode for you today. This is going to be a rock and roll show. So back to you, Mr. Phil.
Wow, man, I couldn't agree with you more. Look, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? We did say that we have friends that we have been on this personal development journey with for many years, okay? These guys are my network. Remember when I keep saying your network is your net worth? You know, these guys are my network. Okay, so without much ado, I'm going to introduce them. Then they're going to say hi, and then we're going to keep this rocking. Okay, so you guys, you met Akinji last week. Let's start with Akinji.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you.
Okay, now this is going to be a new face. We've got Mr. Patrick, also known as Paddy. Mr. Patrick.
Mute, sir. Mr. Paddy, you're mute.
Okay, you're mute. You're mute. Okay.
Oh, sorry about that. You know, I thought you lot had me before. Hello, everybody. I'm Patrick, and I'm glad to be on this platform.
Okay. And not the least or the last, we got our very own sage, our very own poet, Mr. Zari.
Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. And let the show begin.
All right. Like you, Mr. Zari. Okay, here's the deal. This morning, I was listening to a video, and in this video, it's quite a good music video. But while I was listening to the lyrics, I couldn't help but think that some people will take these lyrics literally, and it will be, at the very least, it will be harmful to them. So today we're going to be looking at value systems. Let's check our value systems. As a matter of fact, probably I'm going to term or label this episode, check your value system. Now, before I hand over to the guys, most important thing is this. You see, let me first say this. Artists have the license to be artistic. So this is in no way Mr. Phil saying, oh, you shouldn't say this in your music, you shouldn't say that in your music, you shouldn't do this in your music. No, that is the artist's job. However, unfortunately, there are impressionable minds out there that we hear things like this music was saying this morning. This music was saying that, look, you were brought to this earth to do one thing, chase money. The only worth you have, if there's nothing, it even said Jesus Christ told you to come and make money. Any means by any means necessary. That's your only duty on earth. Make money. And it is, and some people will be listening to me like, what is wrong with that? Okay, I'll before I go into what is wrong with that, what are your thoughts? Mr. Paddy, are you ready? What are your thoughts, Mr. Paddy?
Yeah, I mean, I think the guy in question, I think is joking, you know, and you know, I don't think he believes that. I think he just wants to make a name for himself, you know. Even though he was preaching something that can be detrimental to some people's mindset, you know. I think he was just trying to be noticed, you know. And talking about artists having the license to say, I believe we are all artists. Mr. Zari, we agree with me on that as a poet.
Clearly.
You know, I believe we are all artists in our own various, in our own ways. You know, so yes, and we do have the power to, you know, to create, to make words come to life. You know, so and it can be for good or for bad.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
Now,
Let me bring Mr. Clare in. Hold that thought. Let me bring Mr. Clare in. Sorry, Mr. Clare.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing. I don't know where you've been, what kind of music you're listening to, Mr. Phil. Well, me, I'm a strictly gospel person myself. You
Oh,
know?
come now.
Hello, Mr. Craig Franklin.
Don't be so Puritan, you're kind of your old age.
So I'm gonna check that one out. So when it comes to value systems, definitely there's a lot of impressionable minds out there, and the power of the word is something that we cannot never ignore. The world, although we're all physical beings, what we say carries a lot of weight. What we confess into our lives, what we profess,
Absolutely.
So we cannot just be out there doing whatever we want without being ready for the repercussions. Because whether you like it or not, we did a video just on money. I remember a few weeks ago, and
we did series on money actually,
and we showed what money is all about. So, to say that is just your mission on earth, I would say I tend to disagree with that. But I haven't seen this video, so I look forward to watching it.
You will. It's actually a good one. It's actually a good one. Rick, people are waiting for you.
I'm still here. Don't worry. I'm just taking everything in and listening.
Well, actually,
I did see the video. I saw the video this morning. It was a very short one.
Okay, please carry on. Sorry.
I saw the video, and it was it's very endemic of the culture in can we name the country?
Yes, please feel free.
In Nigeria.
Okay.
So most of the Afrobeats I've been listening to recently, they're all saying the same thing in different pathos. I write, I'm a poet, I'm an artist. So we have to take responsibility for the information that we are pushing out there. I think that what is happening with the artists in Nigeria is they're mirroring the people. They're mirroring the culture. Instead of creating something aspirational, better to teach, they're actually they're giving the people what they want, not necessarily what they require. So when he's talking about money, so he's feeding them the same crap. He may know better, but then again, I don't see that if it's going to sell records. And so I think it's very important that if you, like a guy like an artist like Bryma, for me, he's not part of that. He's very different. He makes you think, So see, if you are a person whose values are based on reasoned choice, the kind of entertainment that you consume is different than, what I'm saying? So I think there's a difference. So I won't think the guy, he wasn't joking. He is speaking what he knows, and that record will sell. Because if he's not saying you that the only thing you've come here to do is chase paper, that's a vacuous value. It's a value all the time.
Definitely.
That's it.
And don't get me wrong, I love the beats of the song.
It's the lyrics.
I bet all of you like yes, of course.
Yes,
I love the
lyrics,
sound, and I love the creativity.
Oh yes,
but
brilliant.
apart from that, everything else is harmful.
It's the lyrics. The lyrics is really, really not doing it.
In my please, Akiji.
If I can add something, I think basically it's about separating entertainment and education. I basically when someone talks, are they trying to entertain you or are they trying to educate you? Can you separate it? Then it's all about ego, fantasy, if only wishes, if only pigs could fly, or if only wishes were upstairs. He's trying to, and obviously this guy, it was attention. In his attention, he's selling to get attention so that people, we can pay him attention. So I basically, and one thing about records is to sell. You're not making a record that won't sell, that will sit on the shelf. You want the record to go out there so people will buy it. So basically, there's an interest, there's an incentive. So why are you going to say it when people get attention? It's all about fantasy and, ego, fantasy, everything all wrapped up in different proportions, to make it, to get the attention you require, so that basically people can pay. Okay, look at now, we're not talking about him. Why are we talking about him now? Okay. Because he wants us to talk about him. So
Good
he has
question.
to sell the ego and
wait,
the fantasy.
Wait, Mr. Kindi, let me quickly interject there, please. Excuse me. Now, again, we're not saying that we don't understand that, or we don't agree with that, or is wrong for looking for attention. We're talking about the masses of impressionable minds. We're not saying he should change his tack.
No, he's influencing though.
Yes, so but what this channel is about is personal development. So while he's shooting his own thing there, we are here saying, okay, people, excellent. That is fantasy. This is reality. Know the difference, and let him shoot what he's shooting. There's nothing wrong with that. But there has to be some voice to say, okay, young man, young woman. I heard some songs talking about to women that all you need to be as a woman, just be fine. Just have the backside. Just have the front. You don't have to develop yourself as a human being at all. Just have the front, just have the back. No wonder they're going to Turkey now, slicing themselves up. Do you understand what I'm saying? And putting so many add-ons to their body.
Objects, in some cases, objects into their body.
Again, we're not saying I'm not against any artist doing anything, because I'm an artist myself. But there's got to be voices in the community as well, saying to people, excellent, that's what he's saying. However, know that this is the reality and these are the healthy value systems you need to have. That's all I'm saying. So I'll let you finish, Mr. Kinji.
Yeah. So like the way I just see it's like basically a new up and coming artist, coming person who wants to be seen in the industry, who wants to be known in the industry. He has to like turn heads. Okay. So basically you can pay him attention and listen. Obviously, what is spewing out is not necessarily the truth, but obviously maybe he might not even believe it himself. For you care, but he might not even believe what he's saying. But he has to say it to turn heads to get attention.
Okay, Mr. Clare.
It's amazing how when we look at these things, what sells in that music. You said he has a good beat.
Yeah.
And the musically is catchy. The tune is catchy. I can just tell without even listening to it. So already that is what really sells his music. Is these beats, the musical talent that he's displaying, in the production of the music. Now the lyrics, because for a long time, for many years, I never used to be able to understand or hear the lyrics in songs. I could just hear the music. So now, over the years, I've trained myself to be able to listen to hear the lyrics. So these lyrics, in a lot of ways, is what goes into your subconscious mind.
Yes.
Because those are the words that seeps into your subconscious mind. Now, so Mr. Akinji, when you said about the difference between entertainment and education, I think we're always being educated. We're always receiving. We're receiving, whether we want it or not, whether we like it or not.
Yes.
We're always receiving input, and it's either adding to us or taking away from us. It's either, because we have the capacity as human beings to be angels or devils.
Okay.
I've gone past the stage where I think that person is a nice person, is a good person. And that person is a bad person, is a very nasty person. No. They have the capacity to be both. If you rub them in the wrong way. So that this is the thoughts that came to mind as you were talking, Mr. Akinji.
And the beautiful thing about that, Mr. Clare, is that we are, like you said, even though it makes sense that there's entertainment and there's education, we're always being, let's call it, programmed by our environment, by what we're hearing, by what we're... Rika, you are nodding your head, please.
Yes, I agree. I was even gonna pinpoint on the fact that even me, the way I listen to music, even now I'm still trying to train myself, like Uncle Leia said, is that I hear the beat. I'm a dancer, so it's the beat and the melody that gets me. As soon as I hear the first 4 beats of the song, if it catches me, I love the song already. I don't even need to hear the lyrics. But then, you know, most of the songs that I grew up listening to, and even this morning, I'm gonna have to say, me and my dad, we had a little discussion about one of the genres which I used to listen to. And the genre was very, when you listen to it, you wouldn't say it's like a negative genre. But obviously now there's a lot of stigma around it because of the lyrics and because of the emotions it perpetuates in you. So I was explaining to my dad that, oh yeah, this genre, it used to make me angry, and like I didn't know that it was making me angry until I stopped listening to it. And then as we were discussing, and he was telling me that, look, it's not about the genre. I'm telling you to speak on the authenticity of how it made you feel and the experience you had. I was thinking, do you know what? It's true. If I'm honest, it was more so my environment, because if it wasn't for my environment, I wouldn't have had to listen to that type of music. It wouldn't have captivated me in the type of way it did. If it wasn't for what I was going through at the time and the things I was experiencing, I wouldn't have viewed that music as very relevant or very relatable. So I was thinking that instead of the music actually being negative itself, even though the lyrics are very, very detrimental to your psyche and to your environment, because it promotes a lot of negativity and a lot of just
Death?
bad things.
Death?
Death is one.
Violence? Wait,
Death is one. A lot of violence, a lot of aggression. I was thinking that it gave me an excuse to be more in that emotion that I was feeling. The music itself, because now I can listen to it and I'll be like, yeah, oh, nostalgia. But at the time, it gave me the excuse to be angry, to be violent, to be aggressive, because I was using it as how do I say, like a gateway tool into just indulging into bad things. Yeah. And then when you listen to the lyrics, you're hearing that these people are talking about death and harming people and, you know, just all sorts of negativity. And I was even telling my brothers that you guys need to stop listening to this music because it's making you very, you know, angry and very negative and irrational. But at the end of the day, it's about the lyrics. It's like Uncle Leia said, and how everybody else said, it seeps into your subconscious, and you wouldn't even know that those things are, you're embedding them into your psyche. So it's very, very important to pay attention to what we're putting out there and the things that we listen to. So like now I've stopped listening to that type of music. I started listening to slower melodies, much more softer tones, and, you know, just things that are much more uplifting rather than detrimental to my mental health, because it really did have an impact on my mental health also. So,
okay. Yeah. Thank you, daughter. Thank you. Like you said, we had a little bit of discussion this morning over that.
It was a discussion. Yes.
Zari, over to you.
Now, you see, as a wordsmith, it's very particular, because it's how you are feeling that you write. Now, from where I am, I'm thinking of how things could be better, how inspirational, getting people on a journey to better themselves, their thinking, the way they act. So lyrics for me in any song ever, from when I was very young, lyrics is a very big thing for me. Music is almost like the Pied Piper of Hamlet. People go for the beat. They just go off. They don't know what they're following. It's a very surreptitious thing that happens, and that's why it catches young people more than it catches older folk. And it's very important. Now, like Naira Marley's got music where I like even down to Wizkid.
Oh, I love Wizkid.
They're getting better with the composition of the music, the arrangement. But my dear God, the lyrics, they just don't do, for me, they don't. And if you see young people who listen to that, they're imbibing that. Like Rike just said, they're imbibing that. And everything right now is about the money, the stuff. And that is the only value there is. And we wonder why the country is going the way it is. Culture has got to teach.
Well, sorry, thank you, Mr. Leah.
It's like you say, they're just regurgitating what they're saying. They're not really moving the society to the next level. Like because now they've got Afrobeats where they're saying that Afrobeats is more progressive. They're talking about society and what they want, the changes they want in society, and more militant. One thing that I would say though is that not to downplay the work that they've done. Wizkid, the Davidos of this world, these guys have done incredible amount of work and raised this. They've created a platform out of nothing for themselves.
Yes.
What the next step would be, like as they grew, and they're youths themselves. So, I can understand where, they just want to be free from the shackles of youth and poverty.
Yeah.
But now that the world reflects totally differently to the
responsibility,
realities they had
isn't
in
it?
the past, which was the inspiration behind their music, like you say, Zari. So now I would love to see what kind of lyrics they come up with now.
Yes.
To see if it reflects, because now they're becoming parents themselves. They have children.
Thank you.
So it will be interesting to see how their music change over time. So that's something I'm keen to keep an eye on. And
to be fair, gentlemen, again, let me reiterate. They've done so much work and beautiful work. And to be honest, I don't even think I have the license to tell them not to do this or not to do that. My thing, again, let me say again, is that we are a personal development channel, and we are one of those voices that is saying, okay, you've heard that. However, these are the dangers. These are the wholesome things that you have to put into consideration. And this is how, because again, I listen to some of the lyrics and I hear some of the lyrics talking to the girls, and the only thing they're telling the girls, is, just look beautiful. I saw you. And when I saw you, I'm ready to pay your dowry. I'm ready to die for you right now. What is that doing to the psyche of a girl? It's just telling her that, so all I need to do is look good, and then someone will be ready to die for me. No! Akiji, yeah, the rest of that. Akiji.
Yeah, that's it's interesting. It's interesting the effect these lyrics are having on people. And it's so funny when you meet someone and you try to just assess their level of personal development. Because about talking to them, you can just tell, okay, well, how developed are you personally? And how many people actually bother or actually take the journey of personal development? Or how people go on the journey of personal development? Because you find out, like you said, these days, whether in Africa or in Europe, very few people really, really take the time to go on a journey of personal development.
Okay.
Because basically, it shows in your decisions, your decision-making process, the decisions you make in life, the sort of places you choose to find yourself or to be in.
Okay. I can see Paddy. Paddy wants to jump in. Paddy. Jump in. Yeah.
We're talking about personal development when
we hear this kind of music.
In a place where there's no role model. And the thing is, if these guys, I know some of them do have, they've heard other songs, other musicians coming up, Two-Face and all the rest of them. We've seen Two-Face, we've seen Two-Face do some music from Sonny Ade, I think, and what was his name? Wizkid as well. You know, we can hear that music. It makes people happy. The melody is beautiful. It's a testy music, you know, and the rhythm is there. Now, that should be the school of thought or learning. I don't know how to put the word, you know. This is what this young coming artists should be emulating. If ever they have a platform in the industry where people can then follow. Do you understand? Because you were mentioning WNA when those guys came out.
NWA.
NWA. These guys, they were political.
Yeah.
You know, I think they were from Compton, I think.
Yeah.
They were political. So when these guys came out, guess the people that followed. You know, so many rappers followed them. There were KRS-One, all these guys, they were all political. They stayed on the same platform. You understand? But the moment all the fine boys came out, Tupac, Snoopy, the system of music now changed.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Look, to be fair, again, music changing, and maybe this is me just heralding a new a new cry out that let's not disparage on what these people have done. Honestly, I cannot fault them at all.
We're not faulting them. We just want to encourage them. If any
No. I don't think it's even fair for us to even say they should change what they're doing. I think it is us now that we're having channels like this. This is us now that are having channels like this that should be now given the order of the order narrative that is needed for a wholesome life. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay.
That's why I want to use the medium to say, or this platform to say, listen, we would like to encourage them to educate the younger ones, the younger generation coming up, because it's very important that, you know, a message be put out there via music, a message of education, a message of you know, an awareness, you know, because I know it's not an easy task, but it's something that they need to emulate, and it's something that is very important.
Again, I don't think it's our place to tell them what to do, but Mr. Claire, what do you think?
Well, it's important to never, you know, not to pass the responsibility of something that you should be doing to somebody else. So when it comes to these guys, you know, one thing that I know is that the world, I mean, they put Nigeria on the map. I'm just focusing on the Nigerian guys now.
And Africa.
They put Nigeria on the map. And I've been to other countries in the world where all they've seen of Nigeria is these guys. You know, and they don't know anything about the poverty in Nigeria or anything like that. And because they know whiskey, they've heard of the Davido, you know, they're already giving you maximum respect as if, you know, those guys are your neighbors or something, just because you're their countryman. You know, so the influence that they've had outside of Nigeria has been
positive. Yeah.
It's been very, very positive.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that they've come out of nothing, not even an industry that is set up, you know, because you know, these guys have not just done business, done music, but they're now doing business as well, because they're not like, it's amazing what they've done, because they're not coming out just making music. They're coming out creating record labels.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, and they are in charge of their own masters. So their wealth, it's like they've taken all the lessons of the past and they've adjusted it so that they are protecting their talent and their wealth for generations to come. So that is what impresses me the most.
Okay.
You know, even other than the music, is the business acumen.
Okay. And like Mr. Kinde is saying here, again, let me reiterate what you just said there. I know I don't need to repeat it, but just to say that we're not gonna put responsibility where it shouldn't be. It is our responsibility now. People like us and people like, because again, if you're a father, if you're an older brother, if you're a community leader, if you're whatever you are, you have influence.
Yeah.
Start talking to the people. Like my daughter now. My daughter knows full well, even before she's now a graduate of my training.
Yeah.
Now we discuss. Now we don't train anymore. But
impressive.
we discuss.
Well, it's always a discussion. For me, I don't argue, I don't bicker. We discuss. We're here to understand each other's
okay.
That's good.
All right.
Try not to argue.
My daughter. No, okay. So my daughter, we discuss now. But the point is this: when she was growing up, I let her know that, look, these are the things you will hear as a young woman. These are the things that you will be impressed upon you as a young woman. Don't let them fool you. Look, you're a father out there. You're an older brother out there. You're a mother out there. Don't let the world influence your children. Because the world will not influence your children for your benefit. The world will only influence your children for the world. So that is where I'm coming with here. That when I hear, if you don't get money, hide your face. Oh, yeah, teacher. I love that song. I love it.
Yeah.
What is it telling that child? If you don't have money, hide your face.
Yeah.
It didn't say, if you don't have money, roll up your sleeves. That's what it should say. Because it gives that child that, so what I do when I don't have money is I roll up my sleeves, I become valuable, I become useful. That's what I do when I don't have money. But when all the guy has ever heard in his life is, if you don't have money, hide your face. What does it do?
But then the thing is, when you think about it, Adekunle Gold, I think one of his last albums, he actually did a song regarding work. He actually, work, which means it's creating a confusing. So this guy is saying, work, put your socks up, and you want stuff in life, work for it. This other guy comes there and goes, it's smashing. So the young people in the middle are going, do we do this? Do we do that? So I think it's the responsibility. Yeah, the responsibility of the idea of grafting. Let's graft for what we want, as opposed to let me just sit down here and just get it, or it will drop to me like a miracle or something like that. I think music is a very powerful medium. You can use. I mean, when you go to war, they use music.
Yeah.
You want to make love, you use music. Yeah. If you want to have a conversation, we want you. So music is a very powerful part of our lives. How we use that tool is so important. Rock music.
I think
doesn't do what soft rock does.
Okay,
jazz music doesn't do what, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I think Mr. Phil has hit the nail on the head there. Yeah. Parents need to take responsibility for their children. You need to bring them up the way that they'll become responsible and valuable to both themselves and others. So that they won't be carried away with all the genres of the world, music genre, and So when they hear it, they know that is music. That will not influence them. Rather they enjoy it, they can pick and choose the one they want to enjoy. Rather, they can pick the one and choose the one they want to enjoy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry, Mr. Patrick, we need to round this up now. And I think we've actually started from somewhere, and we're about to land this spaceship. And I believe where we're going to land this spaceship is truly something that's just occurred, that's just crystallized in my mind now. That is why these mediums are very important. What am I talking about? Mediums like this channel. And we're encouraging other people to do channels like this. Because number one, it gives you a chance to articulate your thoughts. And again, it gives you a chance to influence other people. Again, like Mr. Kinley said, we cannot let Davido to be the one to now say, oh, don't listen to my music. No. You understand what I'm saying? Or we can't expect Whiskey to, no. It is.
You can't expect Whiskey to raise your children for you.
No.
Thank you. Thank you.
But then again, doesn't it take a village to raise a child?
Okay.
Exactly.
So, okay. So what we're saying, gentlemen, is that we're all important in this.
Absolutely.
And really what we've done tonight is our bit. Our bit to say we're taking responsibility as adults to say we're hearing these lyrics, we're enjoying it, we're not condemning them, but we have a responsibility to present another narrative.
Yes.
So what I'm gonna do now is that we're gonna round up, we're gonna go each one of you, and then we're gonna end. So who wants to start first? Okay.
Ladies first.
Ladies, okay. Rike.
Okay, everybody. I just wanted to say, just so we can round it all up, that of course it's our own individual responsibilities to be careful with what we listen to, what we internalize, the things that we feed our psyche with. Even though, because me, myself, I listen to a lot of rubbish music, if I'm honest. Not saying that the music or the artists are rubbish, but the messages they're not very productive, as per se. But I know in myself that, look, this isn't what I'm striving towards. I'm using this as a source of entertainment, as mainly background music, mainly, for when I'm cleaning or cooking or something. But I take the responsibility to watch what I put into my subconscious. So I encourage everybody else to do the same also. Thank you and see you next time.
Okay, before I hand over to someone else, I just wanted to add to what Rike said there, that I can testify, Rike has been on a diet of books, continuous diet as we speak. So even since she says she listens to the music, I know that it's a small percentage compared to the positive information she puts in herself, and it's become a habit. Actually, it's not something that she has to think about anymore. Am I right, Rike?
Yes, of course. I like to read a lot of books in terms of personal development, spiritual awakening. I'm also currently on another journey, but I'm not going to talk too much about that. So maybe I'll share in some of the next videos. We'll see.
But it's all healthy. It's all healthy.
Yes, definitely. In fact, this one is probably the most influential on my character that I really need. So yeah.
Okay. So again, see what's happening is that I will not give it away, Rike. But what's happening is that Rike has now got to a point where she's looking at herself and she's saying, you know what, I need this. So I need to go on this journey to acquire this skill so that I'll become a better version of myself. And she doesn't even ask me. She just basically goes on that journey, buys the book she needs, goes on the training she needs by herself. So again, this is a case of, it gets to a point where these children grow to a point where they take full responsibility for their own development and their own shaping,
Then our job is done, isn't it?
Okay. Very. Since we're talking. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Well, as a change agent, I take it very, very seriously for the part that I'm playing in this human evolving. And of course, I'm getting older in age and also older in wisdom. So the wisdom to know the difference is becoming more acute. So for me is, am I going up or am I going down? And also the idea you can have two truths in the same place. You don't have to have one or the other. But on this particular subject matter, I think it's very, very important that what you feed your inner self is more important than what you actually feed the body. You can't eat all the lovely food and then put crap into your inner self. You can all the lovely, plant-based, but the information, the crap you're letting in, like water into an ocean liner, is not going to work at all. So for me, as a change the agent. I'm a writer. When I'm thinking, I'm not just thinking for myself. Yes, I'm the one that's getting the benefit first. Then I share the rest out there. So I'm not telling any artist how to express themselves, but take time to ponder on what you are expressing. Is it going to influence? Is it true? Is it beneficial? Is it lifting? And then, of course, you make that decision yourself. So yeah, it's you can't make a decision on who or what they do. But if I look out and they say, "Oh, Zari's writing made me feel angry," well, maybe angry because they needed to get angry to get to the next level, or just angry for angry's sake. I take responsibility in that. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a village to raise children. So parents and role models and so on and so forth. But thank you for having me.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clay.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, sorry. Let's get Mr. Akinji, then you, so that you can talk us out. Sorry, Mr. Clay. Akinji.
Yeah, well, like the previous speaker said, we just have to be careful at what we let into our minds. We need to decipher and differentiate. Obviously, this music, it goes to our subconscious, but we should be able to categorize or pigeonhole them, let them know what goes where, before they start to influence us in a very subtle way without our awareness, not knowing that it was something that we listened to that is actually influencing us, or is actually motivating us. So basically, it's about guarding our minds and knowing what we put in, basically, and we should be able to decipher at all times what's going in and differentiate what we're supposed, what's beneficial and what's not. That sort of thing. That's just the bit I like to add.
Wow.
Patrick, have you finished?
Awesome. I think it's been another interesting meeting. I just want to say, rounding up, Mr. Phil, you have done, you've shown what the answer will or could be by allowing your daughter to speak, and then, show us what parents should be doing, because it's not, that's what we should be doing, really, grooming our children on, or guiding them on what to listen to, what to listen out to, or what to listen to and what to look out for in music, or how they hear the music, how it influences them and all that. So I'll say for all parents, they should hear this and then, be mindful of the kind of music that their kids listen to or the one they listen to, so they can, educate their kids on, on the way forward, so that they won't just be listening to any crap, so that it won't stay in their subconscious and they start acting up. So yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Clay, you're gonna have the last word. I've saved the last word for you. Sorry that I kind of mucked that up at the beginning, but you have the last word, sir.
Yes, sir. You've done a good job. I think music, like food, like everything we input into our bodies, there's junk food, there's healthy food. We all know what they are, and we all know how we navigate them. So I don't need to tell you, that last, chocolate bar that you had when you told me you're on a diet of pure vegetables. That's cheating. I don't need to tell you that. You know yourself. You know where you get up to. I remember my there was my ex when I used to be in the construct of marriage. He was always on a diet. Yes, on a serious diet. And then when I came to drive the car, you know, and grab the steering wheel, would you believe that donuts, like, you know, you could see remnants of sugar donuts all over the steering wheel. This is God. People are getting it in where they can. So all I can say is that, you know, when it comes to the music these guys are producing, you know, there's you know what, you know how much of it you need to consume. But yeah, what's more important is where you're going, your goals you have, the future, where you're gonna be in the next 2 to 5 years, where you're gonna see yourself. Are you on track, or you need to make amendments? You know, it's very important that you don't lose sight of that, regardless. But for the music generators, like the content creators, certainly I can see their business acumen. I can see that these guys are serious businessmen. So it will be interesting to see as their empires develop, the influence they then bring back into society. You know, because I know they're already bringing all that new talents under their wings and producing them and bringing them out under their record labels. But it'll be good as they grow older, because they're still in their 20s, these guys.
Wow.
As they grow older, you know, and as they develop, it will be interesting to see how they shape the whole industry, you know. But yeah, so peace and love, as Ricky always says, everybody.
Peace and love, everybody. Shout out to Olamide. I'm a big fan.
Hey, Olamide. Yes,
I'm a big Olamide fan. And shout out to all the guys, Biscuit, Davido, what's the one they call?
Don't forget Burna Boy.
Burna Boy, imagine, you know, all those guys, you know, again, we're not saying we're telling them what we're taking responsibility as well. We're taking responsibility as well as parents, as older brothers, and everybody else. Okay, so everybody, unmute yourself, everybody, because we're gonna go say bye-bye in chorus while we're waving our hands. Unmute yourself and say bye.
Bye. Have a nice one.
Okay, it's sorry there. No, it's not. Okay.
Bye,
everybody. Bye. Bye. Let's stop this.